Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic. Back to you again with another celebrity reading. So this time it's on Justin Bieber. Again, if you haven't seen any of my last videos on him, I'll put a link to it up here. So there's a lot of rumors going around about what's going on with him. He's not seeming well, what's going to happen. I've done a lot of readings on what's going on already. So you really need to watch those for the full context, the past few videos I've done on him. However, he has posted a video of him like smoking on his Instagram story after everyone was saying that they were worried that he was doing harder stuff. And so people are like, is he trolling? Is he okay? There are rumors that everyone's worried about his safety, and that there are rumors that he's paranoid, that someone's trying to get him. So I'm going to do a reading on this and see what I see. Remember, these readings all ledger friend tapers only, and let's get started. And please remember, if you like these, you can join the YouTube members. There's a join button down below. You get a lot of exclusive content, celebrity readings that you won't get anywhere else on people like Beyonce, Bad Baby, so much stuff. You can get, there are pick-a cards there. You can win a reading from me. $5, $10, $15 tier. You get access to a Discord. It's linked down below, join button. Okay. So let's see what's going on with Justin. It's Justin, how he feels, what he's doing. Okay. So Justin being the Two of Cups is about contemplating his bonds with everyone. The Two of Cups is like our connection to other people, especially people we care about or we love. And it definitely seems like his focus right now is on understanding those. I guess you could kind of say that as a little bit of codependency, but the Two of Cups is like the value that other people bring me versus I bring them, right? He's evaluating all of that. The magician here and the Seven of Wands. So the magician is communication. And so for him, he's trying to find a way to speak his truth without, sort of being, what's the word? Stifled. Like, he's trying to communicate, but he doesn't have the tools. So I think what we're seeing is, it's almost like it's his own language and you have to decipher it. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if Haley is very used to deciphering his unique language. And I wouldn't be surprised if he needs someone to kind of like speak for him, because it seems like he has a hard time articulating himself. Now, he is the Seven of Wands, which is like an underdog wanting to prove themselves. So there is a part of him that genuinely wants to prove something to people, almost like, how do I word that? Justice card reverse, Five of Wands reverse, and Wheel of Fortune. How do I word this? In Justin's mind, everything makes sense. And so for him, when he posts these things and does these things, he feels like he's making sense to us. He's like, I'm speaking, I'm defending myself, I'm doing this. Justice is upright. Like, it's only fair. The Wheel of Fortune is like, I'm going to take this risk, it'll pay off. And the Five of Wands is like, I don't even want to fight this battle. It's not worth this. Essentially, what I'm saying is, yes, he's processing all of his emotions and his feelings about the people in his life. However, Justin thinks he makes sense. And I say that respectfully. He thinks that we understand him. He thinks that he's sending out messages to us that make sense, that are in defense of himself, that we comprehend. I wouldn't say that he thinks that he's normal or that it's normal, but he thinks that, like, he's convinced that he's coherent or that his actions make sense. They don't. So that's the disconnect. And what's interesting is, it seems like this has been an issue his entire life, is that there's a disconnect between the way in which he's trying to articulate and communicate versus the masses and how they understand. And it seems like the people in his life are very used to deciphering that. And that's why we're seeing them be like handlers to him and have to like coddle him and take care of him, because there's no one else that kind of understands him unless you've been around him. He's so kind of different and unique in the way in which he communicates. Now, do I think that he's in a great place? No, I've already talked about that in my previous videos. I definitely think there's something going on. It seems like his his well-being has gotten worse, but I don't think he's aware of it. So the Four of Swords reverse, the Two of Swords upright, and the Queen of Cups. Do you see what I mean? I can do everything on my own. I don't need any help. You don't know what you're talking about. I've got this. Haha, I'm going to troll them. They don't know what they're talking about. He's oblivious. So like when he posts these videos of him smoking weed and acting like erratic, he thinks it's a joke because he doesn't understand that we are concerned. You know what I mean? We are not inside of your head. We don't understand what you're thinking, and you're not communicating properly. And to be honest with you, I don't think that he's in the right frame of mind. So like I said before when he would communicate and it wouldn't make sense, we'd kind of be like, all right, whatever. Like Haley will clean it up, or someone will clean up the mess. Like someone will help us understand you. But now that he's not in the right frame of mind, watch the past few videos, it seems like it's worse. So it's not necessarily like he's changed as a person as much as it's been harder to understand him. Like we've just become more aware of how difficult it is to decipher his communication because he's not in the best place. So we're noticing that fault even more so because it's standing out more. Does that make sense? So I feel like he's a puzzle. And I think that's what a lot of people like about him when they're close to him. But on the outside looking in, when you're not in a great place and you're struggling and you already are kind of like a puzzle, it's only going to get more confusing. So if you were to look at him as the Seven of Wands, he's like, oh, I'm proving my innocence. Like, I don't give a fuck about these people. I'll troll them. Like, I'm fine. I'm great. Everything's normal. But it's not. I mean, I guess that's a little bit of denial. But again, you're dealing with someone who dealt with fame really young, which is really difficult, had a rough upbringing, went through a lot of trauma, especially in the industry. Clock it. We talked about that in my past readings. And I don't think he realizes, I mean, he's in a bubble, right? He has never realized how much he relies on other people to communicate properly. Like he has no idea how bad he needs someone to kind of decipher his language, right? He needs a translator. And he's oblivious to that because it's been happening his whole life. Everyone's just been like, oh yeah, whatever you say. And then someone else, does it or fixes it or explains it to the person. So they're doing him an injustice because he doesn't realize that people don't understand them. They pretend to understand him and then ask somebody in his circle to decipher it. So it's almost like if he's speaking a different language, but everyone's just assuming he's speaking English. Do you know what I mean? And then to his face, they act like they understand that he's speaking English, but behind the back, they're like, wait a minute. You see what I mean? So it's difficult for Justin to have awareness in this instance because he's never had to. And when he's already kind of, I don't know, spiraling might be a big word, but not handling his emotions and his experiences and what he's going through in the best manner, it's getting worse. His communication will be even worse because now we're seeing it. Basically, the veil is being lifted. And so what was hidden from us is now exacerbated is the word, or highlighted, I think is the word. Like it's now brighter. So we're like, oh, this is what it's like living with him. Okay. This is difficult. The Seven of Swords about the failures he's exhibited in his life, and the Ten of Swords is self-sabotage, and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I mean, he's a sad boy. He's struggling. It's hard for me. I look at Justin's situation, and I understand people are like scared, and there's all these conspiracy theories and stuff, but I do it does make me feel a lot of like Britney Spears' situation and how she was, troubled by fame so young and how it destroyed a lot of things in her life. And so, I look at him and I try to have empathy and understand, rather than immediately judge and be like, oh my God, like he's mentally ill and terrible, or oh my God, he's, doing drugs and being crazy. You know what I mean? Like I try to understand the mental state that he's in, especially because like when I do these readings, you have to understand, I don't talk about this a lot, but I'm an empath. And so when I do these readings, I'm in their emotions and understanding their feelings more than anything, which is why it's sometimes difficult to get super specific information because I'm in their feelings and it's their feelings, not mine. And so when I'm in his feelings, it's like kind of lost. It's like a swirling of emotions, and I see him sad, but not really realizing 100% why he's sad and trying to find something to pinpoint it or blame or find the source, but misfiring. So like I see him pointing fingers at the wrong things or trying to fix the wrong things about his communication because he's not gotten to the root of the issue yet. And, you know, he's still struggling. So it's like, I mean, anybody who's dealt with as much issues as he's dealt with or trauma, I don't think they're going to get it right. And I think they're going to fall off the wagon every once in a while and things like that. So I try to understand him and comprehend this more so than judge, but you know, we're not all perfect and sometimes it's difficult, especially when his actions are not the best, you know, even though you're going through something, if your actions end up causing issues or hurting other people, it's still not okay. So it's hard. I know that there's been rumors that like someone's out to kill him and someone's out to get him and all that, and there's all this paranoia. I don't know if I necessarily feel that. The death card is reversed, the judgment card's upright, and the strength card, which to me, I see him more as self-destructive. And I mean, do I think that he has the best people around him? No. Do I think that there's like this master plan to like finesse him or take him out? No. I think that if something like that were to happen, it would be because people were negligent more than anything else. But I think that's pretty dramatic. And I think that, you know, the people that are attentive to him are trying, but there's only so much one person can do, or multiple people, whatever it is. There's only so much people can do. And I think that, you know, I know that it's like easier to go into the nefarious side of things and easier to, you know, blow something up. But for me, it's more along the lines of like, at the end of the day, Justin's been through a lot, but he's a grown man and he's going to make his own decisions. And he's very successful, famous, and wealthy. And there's just really very little you can do to make him budge. And I can tell you this man is stubborn. So, you know, when he's convinced that things are normal because they're normal to him, but not to everyone else, it's very difficult to get him to change. So just keep that in mind, you know. But I don't know if I necessarily feel like people are trying to take him out. I think that's a little dramatic. I can see him thinking that because, I mean, if you told me that he said that, I could kind of believe that just for the simple fact of him not understanding where to point the finger. Like, he is so much shit going on that it's hard for him to figure out where it's coming from or who to blame. So anything that's easy to blame, he will do it. So it's like, it's hard. Knight of Wands is walking on eggshells, the World, and Ace of Swords. See what I mean? Like, it's like he's trying. Like, I genuinely think there's a part of him that's like, I can prove that I'm normal. Like, I can prove that I'm normal. Like, I'm not acting crazy and erratic. But if he were, and if he does, he just looks crazier. And which is why people are trying to get him to stop. Like, don't post that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And he's getting annoyed and be like, wow, you guys are really like against me. But it's because like, babes, it's not coming across well. Like, you're oblivious to how you're coming across. Like, his self-awareness is very low. So it's hard. This is a hard situation. So I don't know, maybe I shed some light on this. Maybe I didn't. You know, I have a lot of empathy for him, but I hope he gets it together, especially for the sake of his kid and stuff. But, you know, whatever. Watch my last few videos on him, and this video will make a lot more sense. Because I can't do the same thing over and over again. So I have to look at a new angle, even though you guys keep asking. And I want to give you guys what you want. So keep that in mind. You know, if there's other questions you have, they're probably answered in the old Justin Bieber videos. There's tons of them. So until next time, thank you guys. Hit the join button down below to join the YouTube members. You will be missing out on so much content, literally. Especially in February, y'all got fed. There's like, what, like 10 videos? Y'all got fed. Okay? $5 a month, you get like 10 plus videos. And then all the old ones too. So go bye. Anyways, bye guys. Yeah, I got nothing to say. I just feel real bad for him.